beautiful friends, lions, and everybody else in between. All right, bear with me here. A lot of stuff to talk about as usual. This is my post-market wrap-up on this Monday, January 13, 2020. All right, people, how many of you who follow this blog are shocked or surprised that stocks hit new record highs today? Both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 closed at new record highs. And again, it never fails. Every time I tell people the market's going up, I get laughed at, ridiculed, and every time I'm the one laughing at everyone else who tells me I'm wrong. No, stocks did close, S&P, NASDAQ, new record highs, and I'm going to give you a big tip. They're going up. Stocks are going higher here, people. There's nothing stopping stocks from continuing to hit record high after record high moving forward. We have trillions, literally trillions of reasons why. This is the Fed. They're buying everything. I explained to you since time immemorial, literally, that the Fed wants to be the lender and buyer of last resort. The Federal Reserve is not just buying every aspect of the debt market that you can dream about. The Fed is buying stocks. People, if you recall, there was a moment where Steve Mnuchin went to 6 major Wall Street banks and told them to start buying stocks. Now, these same banks run the Fed and every other world central bank. So here's your proof, people, that these banks are buying stocks. The companies themselves are buying back shares of their own stock. It's unstoppable. It's like unfreaking stoppable. And that's why stocks are going higher. Now, I'm going to give you another big clue here. And again, if you listen to me, if you have been listening to me for I don't know how long, you have shredded this market like a lion to the point of like, it's just unbelievable. If you've chosen to bet against me or do the opposite of what I say, you've gotten crushed. You've had every bone in your body broken multiple times. That's the truth. And so I'm going to give you another clue. So yeah, stocks are going up. And number 2, gains, although we did hit new record high with regard to the S&P and the NASDAQ, were muted. Muted, why? Because crude oil is getting hit. People, I don't care. They will not allow this to continue. Crude oil is overvalued by at least 50% today. Right now, the price of crude oil is at least 50% overvalued. The market, the crude oil market, has no bearing on reality whatsoever. This is a concerted effort by the banks, by the military-industrial complex, OPEC nations who all have accounts with the Federal Reserve. You know that, right? Okay, President Trump, was it over the weekend? He threatened to pull Iraq's account at the Federal Reserve. Yeah, Iraq has an account at the Federal Reserve. Now you see that Greg is right, that the banks run the world and everything else is just a big load of stinking dog shit. Yeah, it's the truth. Start to get hip to it. The cults, break yourself out of the cults. Whenever I write something about a Democrat or a Republican, I get attacked. These are the cult followers that must defend. They have to defend. They must do it. They have to. They have no choice. They really don't. They don't know they have no choice. They just react. Hey, that should be a song. React. Probably is a song. Anyway, so understanding there are literally trillions of reasons the Federal Reserve is going to continue to pump this market. The Federal Reserve is going to continue to buy stocks along with the Wall Street banks. Companies buying back shares of their own stock. People are so afraid of missing out that they're willing to pay anything for a share of stock. Henceforth, why we're seeing this multiple expansion that I've been covering quite a lot lately. You think that's going to stop anytime soon? No. It's a bubble. And because it's a bubble, it's going to inflate. It's going to hyperinflate as we move forward. And as the market hyperinflates, you and me are going to take advantage of it. And we're going to be betting against it at the same time by holding hard assets, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, period. This is where you got to be. If you don't see that by now, you're lost. And I cannot help you, so you should probably subscribe to another channel. That's the truth. But if you want to run with the pride, you're in the right spot. Okay. I want to cover a few other things with you here. So let me open another window. This is going to be just lovely. You know, I love to do this because there's so much. Look, I'm laughing. I can't. It's too much. Let me back up a little bit here. All right, so I already explained to you about crude oil here, people. They're going to turn this around. Crude took a hammering today. It's not going to last. There's no freaking possible way. It could have dropped further. Sure it could. But the trajectory for crude remains higher. Every dip we've had since October of last year has been not just bought up and gone higher. Trust me, an event will occur, some piece of news to prop up crude. That's the truth here. All right, so let's go here. You know what? Some of this stuff is too freaking asinine to even talk about, but I think I will, just so we can just laugh our heads off a little bit. It's frankly too stupid. All right, so here we go. I'll start with this piece. This is Rosengren, the head of the Federal Reserve here, one of the heads of the Fed, one of the Fed heads. He's saying the Fed is in uncharted territory and should be looking out for risks. Really? Risks to who? Really? You know, you got to read through the bullshit. All right? There's no risk. They are fully on track for their final solution, and you know what that is. So I'm not even going to cover that anymore. And we found out that, you know, look, for those of you that are about to react, hold on to your hats for a moment. You know, President Trump pledged to eliminate the debt. Instead, he has added $8.3 trillion so far. All right. But you have to understand, this is not just his fault. Every president must continue to pile on the debt. So whatever comes out of their mouth doesn't matter. Now, I want to elaborate on that a little bit. In fact, you know, let me say this here. I want to talk about a con job of epic proportions. And I'm going to read this to you because this is me. There remains a con job by some YouTube bloggers that Trump is going to reset the financial system and bring about a new gold standard. To those who are buying this fake narrative, I will say this. Do you understand that no one man has the power to do this? Do you even realize that he's playing right into the game of multiple debt expansion by the central banks? This is their end game, okay? Float out some kind of fake narrative. President's gonna reset something. Yeah, we're going back to a gold standard. Yeah, we have fought wars. We have killed millions and will continue to do so to make sure that the debt-based economic model continues, the petrodollar continues. We are not going back to a gold standard. So for those of you that are locked into that thing because there's some YouTube blogger who's a complete shill trying to tell you these things, well, wake the freak up. Understand, it's too stupid. It's almost retarded for someone to believe that this is actually even a possibility. But again, there are those. And for those YouTube bloggers that are pushing that narrative, tell them Greg Mannarino said you're a freaking shill. All right? Greg Mannarino, who understands these markets probably better than most people on the planet. So you can get whatever YouTube blog out there, whatever they're trying to sell you, and tell them that a guy that knows the market, a guy that calls this market beyond accuracy, beyond being more accurate than most people in the world, is telling you you're a freaking shill. It ain't happening, okay? So break out of that. I know it's going to be hard because it's a cult member thing. If you're a member of the Republican cult, you must believe. Gold standard coming. Reset. Yeah, all my debt's going to be forgiven. Meanwhile, your dollars are a unit of debt. And again, we have killed millions and will continue to kill millions to make sure that we have the petrodollar and a fiat monetary system. It's too stupid. It's absolutely freaking stupid. Now, I'm going to talk about this too. There are 13 Democrats now running for president, and there's a debate coming up. And not one of them will even mention the epic hyper debt pump that the Fed is currently involved in. Neither will our president, because they've been silenced. When Elizabeth Warren tried to say it one time, she got silenced in a big way. Understand, they all know the game. They know where it's going. They know how it's being played. It's unbelievable. I'm getting a phone call right now from a number I have no idea. It's probably the Federal Reserve. All right. Now, how about this one? The Federal Reserve admits it pumped more than $6 trillion into Wall Street in a 6-week period. Yeah, let that sink in. The Federal Reserve admits it pumped more than $6 trillion to Wall Street in a 6-week period. That's pretty epic, people. And none of you that follow this blog are at all surprised, because I've explained this to you. Supernova, hyper, whatever, off the Richter scale. Yeah, that's where they're going with this. It's incredible. And here we go. I want you to sit down for this, because this is Steve Mnuchin. You're going to love this. As part of the biggest deal ever, Donald J. Trump, they have agreed to this. Washington and Beijing agreed to a new dialogue to pursue reforms and address disputes. This is the biggest deal ever. The biggest deal ever is that you are being conned once again. Conned. You got it? It's unbelievable. Imagine a world in which the narrative of the biggest deal ever is, oh, we're agreeing to talk more. You can't make this stuff up, people. It's freaking possible. It's too retarded. Now, here we go. Here's something else that some of you, again, in one of the cults are going to get upset about. President Trump is to remove China from a currency manipulator status as a show of goodwill. Not because they're not manipulating currency, as do we, but as a show of goodwill, the president said he's going to take them off so he can kiss some more ass. Oh boy, did that trigger you? He's bending over. The president's bending. He's going to take it too. You triggered? Are you triggered? Good. I have succeeded in my mission. It's unbelievable. Now listen, I want you to tell me again here. Tell me again what China is giving up in this biggest deal ever, because this is me. Has the deal even been translated? And let me ask you, why was it even drafted in Chinese? Why was the deal drafted in Chinese? Why are we waiting for a dog shit translation, Mr. Trump? Because you're hiding something from us? Some of us speak Chinese, not me. Anyway, where is it? We, the American people, been even given the right to see it, Mr. President? Duh. No, because it's the greatest deal. If it was so great, Mr. President, you'd be broadcasting it on your Twitter feed and everywhere else you can think about it. We are getting the shaft. You want to see you bending over again? This is the president. Yeah, that's him getting it deep and hard. Right in the gabagool. And that's what the American people are getting. There is no phase 1 deal, period. It's a joke on America. Post a link to the transcript. That's the greatest deal ever. That's my challenge to those of you that are triggered. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, global debt is shattering records. How many of you were surprised by that follow this blog? Nobody? No, nobody, because Greg's been explaining this here. And how about this one? We found this one today. U.S. budget deficit continues to also shatter records. Tell me again how our economy is booming. Wow, I'm triggering a lot of people today. I love it. I really do. You know, look, if you can't handle the truth, go bury your head in the sand and go cry or something. While me and my freaking lions rip the living shit out of this market. Because that's what we're going to do. We're going to let the game play out. Me, my lions, my beautiful lionesses, and my cubs that I love. I love my cubs. You know I love my cubs. I do. I really do. Anyway, this is where we are at, and expect all of the things that I just covered to get exponentially more unfreaking believable, because they will. All right, look, with that said, I'm going to get going. Love all you guys and girls, and see you in the morning. Share the video. For those of you that got triggered or all hyper right now, calm down. Calm down. Prove me wrong. How's that? I'm out of here. See you in the morning.